Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with GigaPower, Gigasaur, Graviter. Now, this is the Chrome version. This one is big, and I gotta say that's what really attracts me to GigaPower so much, is the size. And then, of course, I like the Chrome, and I like the bling, and I like the extra little added touches that they add to it. So, without further ado, let's get into looking at the box. Here's the box. It's really nothing that special. Looks like all the other boxes that they make. But it's got a little bit of artwork on it. It actually looks like they're showing the actual product just in different colors, color lighting. And you get to see a few things, different modes, all that great stuff. I do want to show you something though about the packaging. And it comes in the styrofoam looking like this with, you know, the other stuff in there, but the plastic on the top. But back here in this weird section is where these extra little pieces, these little clear armor pieces, that's where those are. That's included there. You find them in there. So like that's just something that I found that GigaPower does. They always use the back of their styrofoam also. So let's take a good look at this guy in his alt mode. And one thing I want to show you is these guns have this little hole, and it just pegs right into here. Well, pegs into here for sure. I kind of figured they'd peg into both. Either one, yeah. It would peg into either one. So there's a hole here, and a hole, a peg and a hole here and here. And then you just simply plug it in, and you can put the guns there. Now, I know a lot of people don't have a preference of putting guns on their dyno modes and arming them up, because it's really not something we were used to seeing in the show, but it's a thing you can do. And you know, if they give you the option, hey, why not, you know? These can also be used in robot mode, and I gotta tell you, I get a little nervous about moving around too much with all the chrome. I don't want to rub any off. Look at the bleeding in it. Yeah, it's great. You can probably see my face in there. Get it the right angle. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I also want to show you, they have these little pieces here, and I was showing you on the packaging how where they're stored, but you got a tail and the head, and it's all the little segments in each segment of the tail, and then there's little tabs in there, and then they plug in like so. Everything is easier to try to show it. There's some articulation to it, not a lot of articulation, and the truth is I probably wouldn't need much articulation to it. There's not a whole lot to it. Just a little bit here, a lot more here, and yeah, I wouldn't be moving around too vigorously with these little pieces on, but yeah, they hold in place okay. And here's the head one, on and off, depending on how you want to display that guy. Okay, so let's have a look at this. We have the kind of clear plastic cover over gold paint below. And then I like that. Looking here, it's got the silver down. This is the chrome, and this section here is not chromed. It's just a few parts of it are chromed. Then getting down into here, though, this is a beautiful chrome, and you can see through the red from the robot mode shines through. The toes have some chrome on it, and you have that. Now this is, to me, a toy homage, but to me this is Dinobots. I don't know if I'd want Dinobots Super Tune. I know people have brought that up in my comments section, Super Tune Dinobots, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd be into all that. Got some chrome on the top here. This gold chrome is what I really love. I mean, I can get fingerprints all over it. You got some clear plastic and some paint, and it looks really nice. Just really nice. Just what I would expect of a Dinobot. Yeah. You have paint on the chrome sections, the chrome wings. Looking good. So I want to show you some stuff that I kind of see with the neck. So with the neck, it's got this articulation here, and the head is extremely articulated. You can do a lot of stuff with it, and I think they did that so that right here with this pivot, you can bring his head as high as this, and then as low as this. But you can rotate the neck all the way around, and remember that this plastic piece will fall off if you rotate it around. And then you can rotate this around, and then his head, of course, is there, and you can go a lot lower if that's what you want. Like he's sipping on some Energon or something, and it still is decent, and it makes them super long. So I mean, it's options you can do either way. Truthfully, I don't know like what you're expected to or how it's expected to be done. And then you don't have to have these pieces on. So let's look at the tail. Well, right now look at the head without it on. With the head is kind of plain without that, and it's okay. You have these two guns in here, teeth that are pretty sharp, some molding on the inside. Of course, I love that chrome. And on the back, it almost looks like a button or a switch or like something's going on here, but it's just the way it's designed. And then let's get this tail, and we'll take all this fun stuff off the tail. And the tail is chromed with the silver chrome, not the gold chrome, which I don't know what you would call the gold chrome, the just gold electroplated, which is what I like. I mean, I like that gold chrome the most. It was funny because it felt like these things wouldn't stick on earlier, and now it feels like they don't want to come off. Here's the tail now with all that off. It moves side to side, not really much up and down, unless you untransform it. Well, now I've gone and messed it up. There we go. So yeah. So here he is next to an Optimus Prime. Here he is next to a Minibot, and here he is next to a Carbot. So you can see how big this guy is just in Dino mode, and how massive he is. And then we can move him a little bit so you can kind of get a better look at side profile and pretty much how much space this guy's going to take up on a shelf. Like you'd almost want to build a display around him. If you wanted to display him just like that, you could put some figures standing around him, and that would still just be impressive still. Wow. It's crazy.
Me Sludge hungry. What Prime make for dinner?
Cooking up some ribeyes. They're almost done.
Me Sludge no eat meat.
Hot Rod, you're a young hipster type. What can we feed him that doesn't have meat? Yo, cesium salami it's kind of like that Impossible Whopper. It's not really meat. It's made with vegetables. Just tell him that ribeye that you're cooking is cesium salami. But Hot Rod, all sentient beings should have the choice whether or not they eat meat. Or,
Do I gotta grow my own dinner over here? What's going on?
cesium salami coming up.
I love cesium salami.
Alright, so let's get into transforming this guy. First thing you're gonna do is split his tail. We're splitting hairs over here. And then we're gonna unclip this piece. Sounds easier than it looks. There we go. Got that unclipped. Untab. There's tabs in here holding this all together. That's all opened up now. Go down the bottom here, and you need to pull this tab out. And then open up the leg. And we're going to put this thing all back together. So, twist the tail, fold it in, and then this is all going to be on a spring. You pull this out, and then you can bring it down here and tuck it into the leg, just like so. Now this thing here is on a slider. You can see you can slide it over, and then you're going to bring it down. Let's work on this outside here. Now, with this is an interesting part here, because you're going to actually pull this out, and it folds in on itself, and then you're going to have to double join it back in. And we're going to tuck the toes in, fold the leg in, and then all this will go back in like this. Flip it up. You got it set the way it should be. Now you can close up this leg and just be real careful not to mess up your chrome and make sure everything lines up just right. Now, this is the point at which this tab on the top here will get clipped in. So, as I was maneuvering that, tab right here, clip it in, and this bottom piece is going to slide up over what is the tail, and then you pull it back, slide it in place, and you should have a leg done. We have the legs done. I really think the legs are probably the most complex part of this transformation. And at this point, we can turn them around, turn the waist, and we'll start working on the top. The whole neck's gonna unpop from there. We're going to separate the neck piece. And then as you can see, this slides down, and then you close back up the neck piece. And then the head, when you fold all this back, you know how the neck swivels. You have to get it positioned right to where this, I gotta get the head just right. There's a notch right here. There's a notch right here, and the head and the neck, it needs to be able to go through that. Can you see how it's going through that notch so that it gets that angle? And this is a scary part to me because I don't want to mess up any chrome. But I think it's ingenious the way they did that. That's genius the way they did that. So next up, we pull the wings out more, rotate the arms around, and we're going to do the hands. So it's locked in here. It's just there's a joint here and a joint here. You lift up, pull out the hand, lift the hand out like so, and then when you go to put it back in place, you're going to lock it back in with those tabs. Boom, boom, boom. Just make your hand look right. And you got one hand. And see, for this, you're supposed to have the legs lower. I had them big higher because I liked it in dyno mode. But right here, you would technically slip it up and down. Next, the other hand. And maybe this one go a little faster. And all the way in. Hands are good. All the little flaps are down. Open his chest, reveal his head, and we are going to be done. Okay, getting the head out was the hardest part. Oh, that's interesting. Let's get him a frame. We'll have a look at him. I just want to say this is a big figure, and he's an awesome figure. And I want to say that he looks really good. And I want to say that I like the chrome. I like the cleanliness of him. So getting a good look at that, I think that's a beautiful head sculpt. It is a beautiful head sculpt. And yeah, I've got a lot of light going on here. So there's a lot of reflecting. And I had this problem also when I did some other Dinobots, but I guess we'll have some quadruple chrome. Maybe I'll try a couple of different lighting options for it, but yeah, that looks good. And then I love the red, and I love the red metallic. And I'm going to tell you that the people who complain about Fans Toys having metallic colors on their figures, oh man, I wish I had metallic. All those mini bots that came out with metallic paint, I love metallic. I would have much rather had that than a flat, but you know, that's my belief, my personal opinion. Looking down here, we got paint right here. Looks beautiful. I think there's more paint on this than the Fans Toys. I only have a couple of the Fans Toys ones, maybe only one. We'll be doing some super comparisons here in a second. Looking down below, oh, look how clean that leg looks on the inside. I mean, it's perfectly clean, and that thing kind of popped out. Wasn't that hard. But it looks beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Now this sticks out more than it does on the Fans Toys. Now, I don't, like I said, I don't have the Fans Toys one, but I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's huge, and it looks good from the back. Now, one thing I wish they would have done, I wish that they would have done like a hinge. All this work here could have worked in a hinge to where you could have made these smaller, not for toy accuracy or tune accuracy or any accuracy, so that you can make them fit on your shelf better. I find trouble posing the Dinobots with such big wings. I would have rather had a little joint here and just make them half the size if I wanted to as an option. Would have been nice to give you a lot of crazy options that you never saw before anywhere else in a lot of these Masterpiece. Why couldn't we get that option? But yeah, looks good from the back. Really clean bot, looks nice. Articulation, head up, head down, left, right. Just does pretty much everything you'd want. And you know what, that's part of transformation. But isn't it a happy coincidence when something's part of transformation and it helps you have some articulation? Look at this guy. Arm up, arm down. So you go up to here, so that's about 90. And then you could go as far as the wings get in the way. Look at the nice clicky ratchets. I mean, okay, they kind of feel cheap. Here, they feel strong, but they feel like they're not like a smooth quality. How do I put that? They don't feel smoothly shifting. They feel kind of rigid. Okay, so you got that. You only have a single elbow, which, by the way, is a Dinobot. I don't know what kind of crazy dynamic poses you're playing on with this thing. Leg, lift the flaps up, and the back flap. 90, easy 90, easy 90. And the ratchet's strong enough to hold it forward, it looked like. Holds it forward, not backwards. Out to the side, ratcheted in every direction. It has to be when this thing weighs so much. And then ankle tiltage is toe tiltage. It's only toe tiltage. It's not real true ankle tiltage, but it gives you the look that you're gonna go for. Right? Is that the look you look? Yeah, look. That's what you're going for with the toe tiltage. Yeah, it works. Let's have a look at accessories, starting with his second head. Okay, so there's his first head, and then side by side you can see what his other head looks like. And I believe it's a simple pop off the ball and joint. But you have different colored eyes. And the heads themselves I thought looked different, but right now they're looking the same. Look quite the same to me. But anyway, I'm just content with it coming the way it is. Blue eyes instead of red. I'll live with that. First up, we've got these guns here that we used in the bot mode. And you flip down the handle and put it into his hand. Tab it in there really good. Come on, guy. There we go. And it holds okay. Second one, do the same thing. That works for me. And then, okay, come on. You're making it hard on me now. Double wielding guns. It works. This one's not holding as well, but whatever. I can play with it. So real quick, why that one wasn't holding is, as you can see, it has a back lip on it and it catches on those feet. So I just kind of put it to the side a little bit and it works fine. They were really meant for dyno mode anyway, but it's a nice extra. Next we have this gun. It's a really nice gun. It's big. It has a button on the back, and if you push the button, it lights up, but only if you completely disassembled it. A screw there, and a screw here. And you disassemble it. And then you can put batteries in it. Now, I can't tell you the size batteries because the ones I have were wrong. I had to put a small little piece of thin metal to complete the contact. Had the wrong batteries. I put 2 of the smaller batteries. The LR44s are too big. I'm not sure which ones it takes. It might be in the instructions somewhere. Alright, so we've got a sword, and looks pretty good. Has the same button on the back. I love these lighting features. Same problem, same wrong batteries, same little piece of metal to make the contact complete. But I do what I gotta do. I'm tired of running all over town trying to find batteries for these things. I like the lighting gimmicks, and I like to share the lighting gimmicks with everybody, so that's just the way it's gonna be. But yeah, here he is with his light up sword, light up gun, and let's go ahead and compare him to his other self. Sludge is having a bit of an identity crisis here, maybe because he ate a little too much meat for dinner, who knows. But looking over here, this is the chrome version, the one we're talking about all day. This is the what they call the metallic version, and I want to point out all the differences that I can see on this. And I want to say it starts with this red being chrome versus this red over here is just a painted one. So this is painted, this is chrome. The actual, is it showing up okay on there? The actual silver parts are not as like shiny. This is a shiny silver. This is a flat silver. Looks shinier than it should be. But if you can see it, maybe we can do a side profile. And you can see that this shines a bit more than that one does. And it's not the same color. I think it's different paint entirely and has some sort of a gloss on it, possibly. Next, for whatever reason, this looks darker than this one does. And the heads look identical, down to the blue eyes that are still on it. And then moving down further, these bits and pieces are chromed. This is silver. This is the gold chrome. This is gold paint. This here, again, this is darker. This plastic that covers this is darker. On this one is darker than on this one. And looking at the backs of them, we're gonna see where, this is where it really makes a big difference. And that definitely will show up on camera. That's chrome. That's semi-shiny silver though. I mean, it's not horrible silver. I think, from what I've seen, people prefer the metallic more. I don't know why, because I prefer the chrome. I have both, and I'm thinking about, because as you can see, I'll probably have almost enough for 2 sets now, hodgepodge sets of these characters. So let's get into comparing them to all the other figures. Here he is next to Prime, a Minibot, and a Prowl. So as you can see how much bigger, like next to a Minibot, look how big he is. He towers over it. And then this is Minibot's in front too. Massive. He's huge. And you know what? How he scales with Prime is a big deal. I think a lot of people make their decision. So let's get this from a different angle. And there he is. That's how he scales with Prime. And in comparison, this is how Fans Toys Swoop compares with Prime. And we're going to get into all of this here in just a few. Here he is with my only 2 Fans Toys offerings. As you can see, size matters. He's definitely bigger, beefier by far than either of these options. Now I cheat with Scoria, angle his waist to give him a little more height. There's no cheating with Swoop, but yeah, there's Swoop. And if you want to put Grimlock in there, just to see, this is Grimlock with Scoria booties, and this is the official, and with my little cheat on the waist. And that's how that looks together. Here he is with GigaPower Swoop and with the Reximus Prime. And by the way, you can get the chrome version. Gosh, I'm so tempted to get the chrome version of Reximus Prime right now on ShowZ also. This guy's available on ShowZ, this guy's on ShowZ. That guy may still be on ShowZ. You can get most of the Giga team right now. If you want to knock them out at ShowZ. But I'm probably holding off on their Grimlock, but I do have their Slag coming. So it's coming up. So let me know what you think about this guy. Let me know what you think about Giga versus Fans Toys, because Fans Toys is definitely a good set. Giga is just bigger, flashier, and slightly more stylized, but it's not so far off that I don't get the 100% G1 feel when I look at them. What do you think? Like, subscribe to Darren Hanger out.